Hello, and, welcome to another episode of OmenG's Stupid Scary Stories. From the floor, once again, because it's early in the morning and I just woke up and I don't feel like getting up right now. So, it's what it is. You can understand it, or you cannot understand it, but either way, it's what it is, and that's what it's gonna be, what it is, and that's just what it is. Shit, fuck, goddammit. Oh, let's get on with things, shall we? Alright, now, let me take you to an interesting place, right? And it's only interesting because I said it's interesting. Hey, you may not find it to be interesting at all, right? You may say this place is fucking boring, fucking cares. But, I'm gonna tell you about it anyway, right? So it's this place that I went to a couple of days ago. It's kinda interesting, like I said earlier. There's a hole in the ground. Now you're saying, what the fuck is interesting about that? Nothing at first, right? Nothing at first. But I noticed that this hole, right, was big enough you kind of squeeze into it. Now, normally I'm not curious about holes in the ground. It's groundhogs and shit. They dig holes. Rabbits, other creatures dig holes. So, dogs even dig holes. So it wasn't like, oh my god, here's another hole. It was something about this hole, It was something about this hole that made me say, I want to know what's in this hole, right? It just looked different. So I went in there, crawled in, came into this opening, right? Inside this opening was a door. Nice door. It was clean, looked very modern. Even had a ring bell camera on it, right? Which I thought was strange, but interesting. Right now, isn't it interesting? You hole in the ground door, ring doorbell. That's interesting. Because why? Right? Why? So, fuck it. I ring the doorbell, you know, waiting for someone to say, hey, what the fuck are you doing at my doorbell? It's not like I want people at my door, or else I wouldn't have put it on the ground where you couldn't see it. So, what are you doing here? But that's not what happened. What happened was that it opened the door, just unlatched like it was electronically controlled, which it was electronically controlled, and unlocked, and it opened. And obviously, I went in because, shit, somebody opened the door after I rang the doorbell and shit. So I walk in, obviously. What else would you do? And immediately upon entering this underground dwelling, I notice there's no one there, right? Obviously, because I don't see anyone. But it's well furnished. Nice modern furniture, clean. The fucking place was spotless. There wasn't a speck of dust to be seen on any surface, which kind of intrigued me a little bit more because I'm thinking, well, if it's lived in, there should be some signs of life, right? Some signs of life, some kind of sign of life. God damn it, shit! A bowl of cereal half eaten, plate, spoon. It just looked like a model apartment, right? So I see something on like coffee table in front of the television, which was the remote. I picked it up and I pressed on. I know what you're thinking, right? Like, you're in somebody else's fucking house. Why don't you, like, announce yourself before somebody comes out and shoots you? I didn't feel like there was anybody there, right? It's just, I didn't feel like there was anybody there, so I didn't feel like I had to announce myself to the people who didn't exist, right? Because no one was there, okay? So, there you go. Anyway, so I pressed the button to turn on this TV that's sitting there. And instead of the TV turning on, the door closes and it locks. I go over to the door, I'm fucking around with it. trying to open the goddamn door and it won't open. So, I was not happy about this because now I'm stuck in this nice house. I mean, it's a fucking nice house and shit. It's not like the type of house that you wouldn't want to be stuck in. But you wouldn't want to be stuck. Excuse me, I'm sorry, folks. You wouldn't want to be stuck in a house that's not yours and you can't get out of it because now you're stuck in a house that's not yours and you can't get out of it. And that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. It wasn't good for me because I had shit to do. I had shit to do. Work, family, and things. I don't have time to be stuck in some fucking house. That's not my house. Anyway, right? So, I start thinking to myself, what am I gonna do? Banging on the door and shit, shaking it, trying to fucking pick the lock. None of this shit is working. So I'm like, fuck it. I might as well figure something out on how to be comfortable and get out at the same time. But, fucking with the door is not going to work. Now, there's no windows in this whole entire house. And it's not a very big house. The living room, the little kitchen, sort of like a dinette area. And then there's one room, which is the bedroom. And a bathroom attached to this bedroom, right? Nice bedroom, furnished, king-size fucking bed. Perfect. It was like it was made for me. Like someone knew I was going to find this and that these furnishings were going to be comfortable and pleasing, right? So I said, fuck it. Checked the refrigerator. Had all the food that I could possibly want, all the food that I could possibly want. And I thought this was strange. Because in the refrigerator was a meal that I was planning on cooking that day, right? It was already in the refrigerator, all the stuff that I needed to make this meal, which I found strange. Now at this point, I realized that maybe this is like some kind of like fucking experiment. So I'm looking around the house for, cameras and shit, which even if there were cameras, it wasn't like I was gonna find them. So I stopped doing that after about 2 minutes. And I sat down on the couch. And then this time I found the actual TV remote. And I turned on the TV. And on the TV was me, right? Looking at myself. So I knew that there was a camera in the TV. And I started fucking around with the channels to see what's on. And all I'm seeing is all these different camera views of the apartment. So I kind of have an idea what the cameras are. And I go look for them and still I can't see them. So I'm like, well, what the fuck is this? Are they invisible or some shit? Is it built into the fucking wall? Like, what the fuck is going on? And who's watching me? Why are they watching? Why are they watching me? How did they know I was going to go into that fucking hole? Right, so, I keep flipping through the channels, and finally I get to this one channel. And on this one channel are numbers, like a timer counting down. And it just so happens at the time when I flip to this channel, they're at 58 seconds. So I'm like, fuck it. Let's sit here and watch whatever the fuck is happening on this channel. What is the countdown for, right? What is it for? Well, it finally gets to 0, right? And on the camera comes this face. He starts speaking. It's like a robotic face. Tells me that I've been chosen to fight in the battle that will change the course of humankind as I know it. Now, I'm thinking to myself, why me? Why have I been chosen? What's so special about me? And, I asked that out loud, and the thing tells me nothing. There's nothing special at all about you. You were just an idiot that was dumb enough to climb in this fucking hole and ring the doorbell and then walk into a house that wasn't yours and, press buttons and shit, playing around with people's stuff. We look for people like you. I said, so I'm not the only one. No, you're definitely not the only one. Surprising how many we actually got to, do this. Some of them are just not desirable folks. But it's neither here nor there, sir. The fact of the matter is that you've been chosen to fight in this battle to change mankind forever. And I'm like, okay, well, sounds important enough. what exactly is this battle that we'll be fighting for? Well, I want to tell you, you're not going to believe it at first, but the more you listen, I got this from a movie. And so I think it was Day After Tomorrow. The more you listen, the more crazy it'll sound. The more you'll be able to say that this has to be true, because how crazy can this guy really be? Don't worry about it. Just listen. Here's what you're going to have to do. Are you familiar with the future? No, not really. Just the parts of the future that I've traveled to and the things that I've heard are going to happen in the future from things that have come to visit me. But, I mean, from my understanding and my experience with traveling time, there are parallel time strands that are different. Different things happen on each of these different strands of time. So, the future is basically relative. You know, anything is possible across the infinite number of strands with different alternatives. Some slightly different than others greatly and more drastically in contrast to those from previous strands in the timeline. But, once again, let's not get confused with time travel and such, because, that's a task one does not want to, embark upon right now. It's too early in the morning for that shit. Anyway, right? So I ask him once again, this battle that you speak of, that you say is gonna change humankind forever, well, what is it? There's movement happening in your time, one which will be detrimental to all of those humans in existence. Come on, spit it out! Shit, man, damn. Fucking with the suspense and shit you're trying to build up, it's not necessary. The fact of the matter is, I'm locked in a basement room, or whatever room that you have me in here. Nice dibs, but it's not my dibs, okay? And I can't leave them when I want to. No, you can't. Well, that's the problem. So get to what the fuck you have to say about what the fuck it is that we have to fight, and so I can go do this shit, get it done, go home. God damn it. So he tells me, right, that the woke movement is really not a woke movement at all. No. They're crazy, outlandish sensitivity to pretty much everything in existence. They're behind so much that we are unaware of. Behind so much that we're unaware of. But I've been made aware. They have plans to end the world as we know it. He told me of the things that were happening, right? And how his future was. Why he had come to our present to enact these changes. Because the thing was, it was rippling across multiple strands. So see, one couldn't travel to another time strand and not escaped, but could be escaped depending on where in the timeline you are. But escape for now, because we're talking now, right now, right? What we had to do a little while ago, which was in the past, but now, at the moment we were at then, right, is it's present, but for us right now in this moment, it's the past. But that's not the point. Once again, please don't get confused. Time travel shit is confusing and crazy. Okay? It's confusing and crazy. Now, this movement, which was really a plot to end civilization as we know it, was doing so. And the one behind this plot was one man who had managed to kill himself across infinite timelines. Killed himself. And after he had killed all of his different selves and times, he was starting to go to different dimensions and kill himself. Alternate universes and kill himself. All versions of himself. Now, yeah, you guys are probably like, what was the purpose of this? The purpose of this guy is an ego fucking maniac, and he wants to be the only one of him, right? He has no children, nothing else but him, right? He even killed his family before him, went back in the past, and eradicated all of those who had anything to do with his family besides those who had to do with the making of him. He thinned the herd significantly. And he started the woke movement because he wanted to be the only thing, the only person to exist. Now, I know what you're saying. Why would you want to be the only person across the entire universe, every known alternate universe, every timeline, every dimension? Why would you want to be the only one? I don't know why, and I don't care why. Who cares? No one cares. No one gives two fucks why this guy wants to be the only fucking person in the world. They just know that that's what he wants to be, and they can't have that because that means we can't be, right? So, I'm all for this fight now. I'm all for this fight now. And it's even better, right? Because the unfortunate thing is those who are infected by the woke virus can't be saved. They can't be saved. Once they're woke, they won't go back to sleep. And I was told that it was my job as a soldier in this army of the future and past and present to remove those who were infected with the woke virus. Now, he said once you have identified them as the woke that they are, not just those who are pretending to be woke, but the actual woke, that a metamorphosis will happen and the beast within them will reveal itself. So you won't feel bad, killing them, as you will have to. Now, of course, I'm thinking this is bullshit, right? I'm thinking this is bullshit. But then, right, I remember this news article where this person, one of these woke people, was saying that by not speaking to a person in a way that they feel they should be spoken to was considered or should be considered an act of violence, assault, violence, right? And I was thinking, how absurd does that sound? That sounds absurd. It sounds absurd. But then, now at least, I thought of it in a different way and think of it in a different way because, see, to them, those with the virus of the woke, infected fully, disease spreading throughout their entire body, in stages beyond repair, without cure. Well, it is actually violence. It hurts. It hurts them because their psychological being has no armor whatsoever. None. It's just straight open nerve, like a rotten tooth with a hole in it, and the nerve endings in your tooth are just right there, so everything can annoy the fucking shit out of them. Everything. Air, water, temperature change. Can't eat on it. Fucking shit hurts. Like that. That's how it is for them. It truly is. So, we would have these special devices that was given to us, trained for like 6 months and shit, sent back to where we were, assembled as an army of those to kill the woke, is what we were told had to be done to save the world. Now, unbeknownst to me, the truly woke weren't the ones that were constantly in the news. See, what they would do is manipulate the weaker-minded human beings into believing in the bullshit that they were peddling, right? And they would go out here and have these rallies and things, right? But there would always be the woke, the infected woke, close by, usually looking like sensible, normal folk. In fact, sometimes they would be the ones hurling the insults at these not really woke people, right? Therefore, giving them a little bit more in the sense of strength and power, so they thought, right? Until it was that we discovered who the real woke were. Now, I'm not gonna lie, right? At first, and as most of us did, you know what I'm saying? At first, We didn't ask any fucking questions or, provoke the woke into their beast state because we figured if you were talking nonsense and talking about being assaulted verbally is violence, that you were probably woke, and we killed them. A lot of them. There were rallies that we went to. See, we had these special suits, right, where we could like make ourselves look like different shit when we did the shit that we had to do, right, so that they couldn't tell it was us. We could go murder like 500 woke virus infected folks or not at these rallies and just like disappear into the fucking background like we were something or someone else, right? It was awesome. It was awesome. A couple of times I used it to like, go shopping and shit as like an old person that didn't have any money, and I put on this pitiful face, told this pitiful story, and somebody bought me my groceries, and I was happy, and I walked out. But I accidentally pressed the button as I was walking out, so I turned into myself, and they see me. It was like, oh my god, you stole the old guy's fucking groceries. Where's the old guy? He killed the old guy and stole his groceries. I could get him. Craziness happened, and I don't do that in public anymore. But anyway, back to what happened at this rally. Slaughtered them. You know what I'm saying? This is like, and we found out later that only like 2 of the people that we killed were truly infected with the virus. But at the same token, it's collateral damage happens. They were wanting to be woke. Now they're really woke. They are woke as fuck. And so yeah, woke up and they found out what happened, and they fuck around with society's strands that need to be held tightly in place so that nonsense like this doesn't continue to happen. Anyway, right? So the truly woke, those infected deeply with the virus of the woke, we're starting to realize that we knew that that's all we had to do to really get them going, right? To truly offend them. They just walk up on them and fart. This was the ultimate weapon. And we found it by accident, right? We found it by accident. Because those who aren't fully infected by this will find it funny and laugh. They'll find it funny and laugh. And we know that they can be saved, that they haven't been infected. But those who are infected, oh, they're so offended by it. You've assaulted their senses. You've stunk up the air. You've polluted their breathing apparatus oxygen with shit particles. And they're so sad about it. And this would provoke the beast. It would provoke the woke beast. Then we found out that there were more woke than where we thought the woke were. You know what I'm saying? They were infiltrating things that didn't seem as woke as we thought that they were, but they were trying to destroy the entire world for the purpose of the man who created the woke virus in the first place. Right? Okay, follow this along now. This goes across timelines of alternate universes and all types of shit. So we realized this time that in order to stop this for good, killing all these woke virus infected people wasn't going to solve the problem. Fun as it was, like the next time we did it, right? There's another rally they were having, and there's an opera house next door. They were rallying against this opera house, and of course, like we told you, we figured out that these woke sons of bitches, the truly woke, would masquerade as normal folk, right? So they were all in this opera house, right? Giving these fake wokers the fuel to feed them with. It's fucking hilarious how this works. We destroy ourselves. Anyway, right? And I know what you're saying. Well, you're going out here killing them. Yes, exactly. That's part of the plan. But we have to play into it, right? And you'll know why in a minute. Shut the fuck up and let me say what I have to say so you can understand what's going on. Now, opera house, rally, we swoop in, helicopters, shooting this shit out of everything. I mean, it was glorious. Let off a couple of Hellfire rockets, blew up the fucking opera house, collapsed on top of the really woke ones. Yeah, we shot a few of the non-woke. We had to keep it real. So they thought that we didn't know that they were in the opera house, right? Played it off as it being an accident, that the opera house hit was tragic, loss of life, blah 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 blah. Brushed it under the rug. We did. Came back another day to do what we do. We did again, and it was glorious as usual. Glorious as usual. Now, as time progressed, we killed less and less of the non-woke and way more of the truly infected woke, right? And here we go, which is why talking about the thing. We found out that in order for us to stop this, truly end it from happening at all, I know what you're saying. Just go kill the one guy that killed all of himself across multiple, alternate universes and dimensions and timelines and shit. Let's kill him, right? That'll end it. No, it won't end it because see, he planted the seed so far back and across so many lines, and then eradicated all those who would know that that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Okay, and I know what you're thinking. This is stupid. Why wouldn't it work? Because I fucking said so. That'd be too fucking easy. Shit. God damn it. Don't want it to be like that. I want it to be the way I'm doing it. And what it is we have to visit all these fucking alternate universes and timelines and fucking dimensions and find the components that make up the woke virus. And we have to destroy them and destroy the woke virus, right? If he can't make the virus, he can't make people woke, therefore stupid as fuck, doing dumb shit, which will bring about our end. So, right, we begin on this daunting task. Daunting task it is, and we thought it was going to be, but it wasn't really that bad because it was like 10 components to this virus. But they were across different timelines and shit, so we had to search quite a few of them to find these components, but we found them nonetheless. And when we did, we destroyed them. But unfortunately, it didn't destroy the existence of the virus. See, just destroying what makes the virus, but not destroying the existence of said virus. Said virus has now taken on a life of its own. It no longer needs the components that made it to continue to be accessible within the strands of time, right? And there was no cure for this virus. So I know what you're thinking, right? Well, now, can you go kill the guy? Yes, we can go kill the guy, but it still isn't going to change anything, right? Now that we've destroyed the components of the virus, we do truly have to eradicate all those woke folk. And fun as it is, it was starting to get a little boring, It was starting to get a little boring. And we go into places and fart, the real people would laugh, we tell them to get the fuck out. And the woke people, we'd insult by saying sir when they were actually women. And this would make them turn into these raging beasts that we would then shoot with a multitude of different firearms and such. Sometimes rocket launchers, just to see them explode into parts all over the place. Blood splattered everywhere. It was magnificent. I loved it, and I still do because, like I told you, we have to eradicate all of them now. Like, we don't have a choice. But at least we know that no one can bring back the virus. And yes, we did kill that guy. It was uneventful. The mentioning of it, point, period, don't care. We killed him. And it wasn't like, oh, it's the only person left of all people that existed with him, his existence. Isn't he, like, super strong? No. It's not like the fucking movie One, where every time he kills one of themselves, he gains, like, some power. There is no power to gain. He was just a selfish son of a bitch who didn't want to share his existence with anything else, and that's why he's dead now, and we're having fun woke eradicating. It's like, came up, new extermination project. It's called Are You Woke? Well, if you are woke, then don't be, because we're coming for you. And that was our little tagline. You would see sprayed at the scenes of carnage that we would leave in our wake as we went across timelines and lands, eradicating the woke as we saw fit. Now, for those of you who are listening to this story, understand something, okay? before you start crying and shit. It's a fucking story. It's a fucking story. And if you are woke and listening to this story, well, then you have just fallen for the trap that we have laid for you. If you have shown any offense taken to anything said previous in said video that you are watching, there are some specialized assassins waiting outside your door right now as we speak. What are they waiting for? They're waiting for the go-ahead to eradicate you. They're gonna bust right through your fucking door while you're sitting on your couch or in your computer chair or wherever you are when you're there watching this. And at this moment right now, I'm going to offend you so that when you shed that tear in your eye, instead of just changing the fucking channel and going on about your fucking life, they'll bust in and they'll fill you full of holes. Full of holes. Watch. Fuck you, woke fucks. What's that? How many? Thousands? Thousands. Yeah, that's right. Wrap it up. I would say it's a good tally for the day. We'll do it again tomorrow. Watch out. We know your plan. Okay? We know your plan. There are several stations just like this one. Several channels on YouTube who have been planted here to root you out, to find you. And when we do, well, like I said, we do what we do while you do what you do. Thank you once again for joining me for another one of OmenG's Stupid Scary Stories. We'll call this one the Woke Virus. I hope everyone has a wonderful Sunday. It's Labor Day weekend. I don't plan on doing anything laborious on Labor Day except for cooking a delicious meal. I hope everyone enjoys their Sunday. Until next time, well, have a wonderful one. And if you're woke, well, go back to sleep. So we're coming for you.